Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? It is bright and early on a Friday morning, but before I go to work, I wanted to tell you a little bit of a story. But before the story, we need to set the stage. So yesterday I was perusing some of Season 1, just out of nostalgic reasons, and I watched my day 365 rewind, where I flashed back through some of my 365 days in a row of daily vlogging without missing a day. By the way, it is a ridiculous challenge. It's a lot of work, and yeah, if you really want to push yourself, go for it. If you're not for the challenge, it is ridiculous. It is hard, and be prepared for not every video to be a winner. But I walked away from my computer for a minute, and I came back towards the end of a video titled, "I Need More Coffee." That should really just be my lifelong slogan, because I literally just finished a cup right before I came down here to the studio, and I'm craving another one right now. But in that story, I kind of fast-forwarded through a story that I was telling about how I thought I was going to be murdered and eaten alive. And fast-forwarded through some text on screen, most likely because I was crazy loopy and I was making almost no sense. So instead of skipping over the story, which is a ridiculous story, I kind of told a little bit of flashing text on screen. But we're going to tell you that story right now. It all goes back to a town called Blakesley, Pennsylvania. Now, Blakesley, Pennsylvania is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's not far off of I-80, but it's not like a large stop, and the town is a few miles down the road from the exit. There's a Wawa. I think there's a Dunkin' Donuts there now. There used to be a roller rink that's pretty much a building that I think they might use for swap meets on the weekends or something. Grocery store. That's really about it. It's not too far from like Elk Mountain. Not much going on there. I do have a bit of history there. Back in 2002, 2003 or so, I was in a pop-punk, post-punk band that was based out of Blakesley. And the story goes with me trying to emulate Shaky Graves. Now, if you don't know who Shaky Graves is, you can pause. Just go up into a different YouTube window, search his name, watch some of his videos. He's an amazing musician, but he builds these kick drums in suitcases where he attaches the pedal to it. So he's pretty much a one-man band. He throws a tambourine on the floor, the kick drum under another foot, and he just plays guitar and keeps his own rhythm section going. So me playing a lot of music at the time, not just with Scott, a lot of my own, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build this thing, get this act going. Maybe I'll play some First Friday gigs. I was getting a few of them offered to me then, but I was a little nervous to play in public, especially alone, because I hadn't done it in years. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna beef up this game. I'm gonna go for it. So I went to Music Around and I bought a 12-inch floor tom. I went to the Goodwill. I bought a suitcase. I got the kick pedal. I got a tambourine. I got all the parts I need, and I built one. And you know what? It's pretty good. But I thought I could do better. But Music Around did not have any more floor toms. They only had 10-inch. I needed a 12. So I took to Craigslist and Facebook. And I found a guy selling them in Blakesley, Pennsylvania. Remember Blakesley? Yep. Same actual kind of housing development. Here's a quick picture from Google Maps. And you can see Blakesley is in the middle of nowhere. Right around here is where the band practiced, and then somewhere around here is where the guy sold me the drum from. So the same neighborhood. Now, from the aerial pictures, this looks like a nice little secluded community. You know, your neighbors are spread out, dirt roads, no traffic lights, peace and quiet. It's not like that at all. There's literally, it's a neighborhood, but instead of having a backyard, with groomed grass, your yard is just trees. Like, your neighbor is 50 feet away, just like in any other neighborhood. They're mostly like these log cabin looking homes. I mean, it's pretty quaint, it looks nice, but they're dirt roads with no yard, no street lights, and you're in the middle of nowhere with bad cell reception, not many amenities. I think there's a little lake there, but there's not much going on in Blakesley. So I meet this guy, or shall I say, I try to meet this guy. I pull up at his house at the agreed upon time. It's the middle of winter, so it's dark by like 4:30. I went after work, so it's probably, you know, 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, pitch black. No one's home. Guy doesn't have a cell phone. That should have been my first indication to run away. So I sit there. I'm trying to get cell reception so I can message the guy on Facebook. No reply. I sit there for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. It's like, all right. I drove like a half hour to get here. I wanted to get the drum. I feel like I'm gonna wait a little bit. It was a waste of drive if I don't. Literally backing out of the driveway. The guy pulls in and blocks me in. Should have been my second indication. The driveway was wide enough for him to pull next to me. So I get out the car. He's like, who are you? What are you doing here? My name's Jeff. I'm looking for, I can't remember the guy's name. I feel like it might have been Mike, so we'll call him Mike. I'm looking for Mike. I'm here to buy the drum. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, all right. We spoke earlier today. You know, we were speaking for like a day or two prior. You know, I'm here to buy a 12-inch floor tom off. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I literally spoke to this guy via Facebook like probably 3-4 hours prior, and he's acting like he's never heard about this before. He gave me the address to get to the house. So after a little bit of back and forth, okay, I know what you're talking about. Come on in. Okay. Opens the door. This should have been my third indication to run away. The house was covered in drums and keyboard parts. Literally the entire house. We're talking every surface in the living room, every surface in the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedrooms were completely covered and filled with musical instrument parts. One room had a bed disassembled and just drum parts everywhere. I think this dude slept on the couch. So he leads me through this path that winds through the living room, through the kitchen, into the garage. The drum you want is in here. There's a couple of them, pick out which one you want. Okay, I go into this garage. Now my only way out is back through the kitchen door, through the house, because the garage door looks like it had not been opened since the house was built. So I'm dilly-dallying in there. I'm like, oh, you know, it's cold. I'm outside. It's like, all right, I'm getting a little chilly because I'm in the garage. So I find when I go back in the house thinking, all right, I'll get warmed up, make the deal, out the door. I get back in the house, I realize it's just as cold inside. This dude had no heat on in the house. What are we up to, like 4, 5, 50? I should have left. I should have left this house. I get in the house and Mike, where you at, buddy? Mike. He's calling me from down the hallway. So I come walking. Dude's in the bathroom. Pants and underwear around his ankles. Peeing in the dark. His back's to me, thank God, but I mean, I walk in, the first thing I see is a full moon of this like overweight, mid-50s man, and not something I wanted to see that night or at any point in my life. And he's talking to me over his shoulder, like, all right, dude, you know, 15 bucks, right? It's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, you said $15. Like, no, I said 20. I said, okay, you said 20. I said, I paid 10 for the last one. And you said, okay, 15, split the difference. Like, but you know, at this point I'm thinking, if 20 bucks is gonna get me out of this house, you can have 20 bucks. I mean, I just want out of this house. I want the deal done, I want out of this house. Haggling back and forth, I'm like, I'll give you the $20. Like, no, if I said takes 15. Okay, wanna leave now, Mike? No, come here, I'm gonna show you something. Oh, dude. Walk down this room. Now he's in front of me, so at this point I'm thinking I could still get out if I want. So he leads me down the hallway. This is where I go into the bedroom that has no bed, like a disassembled bed, but like no bed, and it just completely filled with drum parts. And he's trying to sell me more drum stuff, and I tell him repeatedly, dude, I'm not a drummer. I'm a guitar player. I'm building this thing, blah, blah, blah. I just need one drum. I got everything else I need. Need the drum with hardware and a head. That's it. That's all I needed. So now he kind of like leads me, trying to lead me out, but he gets in my way. So now he's between me and my way out of the house. So now Amy's texting me because I've been gone way too long, because I'm already sat in front of this guy's house for 15-20 minutes waiting for him to show up. I've been here for probably 20-30 minutes now. Now he's between me and my exit. So I'm texting her, I'm sorry, telling her where I'm at, the address, if I don't come home, I'm legit scared for my life now. I think this guy is going to flay me, tan my hide, wear me like a leather jacket, and eat my insides and maybe fashion my bones into drumsticks. So I'm like, oh dude, I gotta go. My wife's texting me, I gotta bounce. You know, I already paid him. And he keeps talking to me. And he's staying between me and my exit. And he's like, oh, you're a guitar player, I got this guitar. He pulls out this like Walmart brand guitar. It was junk. Like, dude, nah, I'm good. I don't need anything. You know, I got all the instruments I need. I just need this one drum. Trying to get out of this house. Turns out it was like a horror movie. When you walk in the house and they lock that front door behind you with the key. Dude locked me into his house. So there was no getting out for me. I was legit scared. Obviously, I got away, scot-free. got the drum, which actually sucks. All of this was worthless because the original one that I built was the one that I use when I use this thing because it's in much better shape. The drum that I bought the shell was okay, but the head sucked. I don't know how to tune drums, so I mean, like, I was trying to tune it, but it just sounds dead. I put some gaff tape on it to make it look a little bit more appealing, and it does make it sound a little bit better, but really the first one I built was the better one, so I just used that anyway. But I legit was scared. So many red flags went up about this situation, and this man trapped me. I was there for over an hour, inside the house for over an hour. He wouldn't let me leave. Now, I probably had a pocket knife on me. I was definitely faster than this guy, but I was locked in. Without smashing a window and climbing out, I would have been screwed. He did move his car and let me put my car on the end before we went in, so I mean, that situation was fixed, so I could have gotten in my car and gotten away, but it was a complete screwed up situation. I never should have walked through that front door. There is a Wawa a mile from the house. I should have just met the guy at the Wawa, did the deal in public. So, PSA, I know I've said this in the past, don't ever do a deal at someone's house unless it's like a large ticket item like a car or piece of furniture, and if so, do it in the day, do it on the weekend, bring a friend. Don't ever show up at someone's random house like that in the middle of nowhere at night. I was legitimately afraid for my life. I thought I was going to die that night. I was scared. I mean, in hindsight, it's kind of funny. I can joke about it and tell this story, but at the time, there was so many red flags, and I should have known better. I was in my 30s. I was probably 34, 35 years old. I should have known better, and I still did it. So, I mean, all these life lessons we learn, sometimes we just throw them out the window and do stupid things anyway, even for no nonsensical reasons. I didn't need this drum. I mean, it's here. I have it now. It's built. I could probably make this sound better if I get a new drum head, but I don't even use it because I like the other one. Long story short, I'm alive. I have all my digits. All my flesh is still intact. This man didn't eat me. He probably had zero intentions of harming me, but he was just weird. He had he talked weird. He had like this accent, but it wasn't an accent, and it was the whole situation was screwed up. So everyone, if you're gonna do a deal, do it safe. Do it at a police station, do it at a public place. There's a lot of towns now have like these Craigslist meetup spots that are fully lit and have security cameras specifically to keep people safe. Again, whether or not Mike, I don't know if that's his real name, I don't remember, had any intentions of harming me or robbing me or doing anything. I don't think he did. He was just a really weird dude, and it was just a really weird situation in the middle of nowhere. Just be safe out there. Now, let me give you a quick look at this kick drum because I gotta get to work.